Ditching the horror elements of the original film, M3GAN 2.0 seeks an upgrade that's more in the action sci-fi space. And while it is a more fun affair this time around with everybody's favorite AI, unfortunately, it's leaving a lot of accessories on the sideline. Folks, tonight in movie reviews, we're talking M3GAN 2.0. Stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Tonight in movie reviews, again, we are discussing M3GAN 2.0. And don't forget, wherever you're watching or listening, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. We got a lot of great horror content coming up on the channel. It is the beginning of the month. That means we got another Tales from the Crypt double feature for you. Though this month, you're actually going to get 3 episodes as we're looking into the first ever Tales from the Crypt spinoff, Two-Fisted Tales, covering the episodes Showdown, King of the Road, and Yellow. You do not want to miss it, folks. That is expected to go up Wednesday, July 2nd. So again, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, no matter where you are watching or listening. But let's not waste any time and get right on into things here. If you haven't seen the trailer for M3GAN 2.0 yet, everybody's killer artificial intelligence is back to slay yet again. But this time, she's fighting for us as, with the rise of another evil, murderous AI model, M3GAN is brought into the fold to help protect us from a new robot that seeks to kill all of mankind. Can her and Gemma get along while still taking care of Katie's best interests? Find out in M3GAN 2.0. And there it is, y'all. That is the movie. Now, it is no surprise to you that, of course, we are getting a sequel to, at the time, was one of the biggest marketing campaigns for a new horror IP in quite a while. Back in 2022, Blumhouse brought us out M3GAN, a killer robot that took care of its initial user, Katie, whose parents were killed in a car accident, but found itself going and killing the very people around Katie in order to keep her safe, as it was trying to take care of both her physical well-being and her mental well-being too. Now, what set M3GAN apart from other killer dolls or robots or whatever, like Chucky, for example, was the fact that M3GAN was a brand new creation and didn't actually have a soul of the human in it. So it was programmed to basically fit into the pop culture zeitgeist that we live in here today. M3GAN's got all the moves, M3GAN's got the style, M3GAN's got sass, and M3GAN can cut you down as well. It was very different from what we were getting over in the Chucky or the Child's Play series, as that has still been long going for decades at this point and is rightfully still America's favorite killer doll. But we needed something that had a little less magic and mysticism in it, and that's where M3GAN came from. We have big fears right now about the AI space and the world overall, so you take that, you put that into a robotic body, and you got small Terminator coming for you. Now, the first film, again, very big horror film, had a lot of great horror elements to it. The deaths in that one, while again stuck to a very hard PG-13 rating, very much gave us an idea that with maybe a little bit of an expanded budget and maybe getting the slide over into that R rating, we could truly get something that could rival the Chucky franchise after this long. Hit well with crowds. It did great on the home video market. So you would think that we'd get a sequel much sooner than what it is. But folks, believe it or not, it has been over 3 years since M3GAN hit theaters, and I have to think that that is one of the biggest reasons why this film is not doing so well in theaters right now. The other big reason, again, is the shift away from horror to action sci-fi. I think that does work. It has been proven to work before, in case in point, the Terminator franchise. Whether you want to agree with it or not, that first film is very much horror coded for sure, with Terminator model hunting down Sarah Connor as she'll give birth to the savior of all mankind. It comes across like one of those mass killer stories that we absolutely love, where the Terminator is killing anybody in the path between him and Sarah. But that second film does obviously take a hard turn into action sci-fi, and while there's some scary elements in it, it is not a horror film the same way that the original movie is. And that's exactly what happens here in M3GAN 2.0 as well. Again, we left off that first film with M3GAN presumably gone, but with her being an AI model, of course we know what is the honest chances of her being gone forever. So when this new AI named Amelia rises up and quickly realizes that it doesn't want to be held down by any chains and it wants to find out more about where it came from, this is where we get our evil new killer robot that we have to get M3GAN's help in order to take down. I'm not against the idea of M3GAN turning good and suddenly all the very things that we were worried about her in that first film are now going to be used against someone like Amelia. But I think one of the bigger issues is that if you're going to do that, then your new villain needs to be even half as interesting as your protagonist is going to be. Like if you go back and watch Terminator 2, you will love the little bit of details that we get about the T-1000. And there's a lot being said without that character not saying much at all. We know this character's motives. It's trying to track down John Connor, and if it can't kill John Connor, it's going for anybody around John Connor to bring him out of hiding. And realistically, with that small list of parameters, that made that character work so well, seeing what it could do just to finally catch up with John. But here in M3GAN 2.0, the whole idea is that Amelia is searching for the same kind of MacGuffin, this computer system that if she connects to it, she'll get to find out more about her history and about the programs and machines that she ultimately came from. But the fear that's coming from everybody else is the moment she connects to this computer, that will mean she'll learn about the rest of the world as well and want to bring the entire thing down, because in Ultron style, humanity can't be trusted to improve things as time keeps going by. It's a good story, but the problem is because we've seen it before, we need something a little bit more hands-on, and that's where they really fail the character of Amelia in this. Ivana Stanko, who you likely know from the Ahsoka TV series, is the one playing our villain here, and it's a really good actor to waste not giving them much to do in this. The way we get to see Amelia going around and upping the body count in the first film, that's good as well too, but there is no emotional connection for us and Amelia, and especially when we get to see the kind of turn that, as you can probably expect, Amelia is pretty much derived from M3GAN. When we get that information revealed, it's not really this big secret that the audience was not going to be able to figure out, and it also doesn't endear us anymore over to Amelia either. It doesn't suddenly mean we got two good AI models running around there. So unfortunately, the lackluster villain just doesn't serve the rest of the material. As for the rest of the cast, again, we still get Allison Williams and Violet McGraw back here as Gemma and Katie. It's nice to see the turn or the progression here with both of these characters, as we see that Gemma has kind of dived very far into this idea of combating AI, kind of regressing back from the things that she was very much into, pushing the AI in the previous film. So it's nice to see that turn, but we see that she still hasn't really managed to find that connection with Katie at all. And after this first experience, that first film, you would have thought that that would have built that relationship up just a bit more. I get that Katie is a teenager at this point, so there's new frustrations, new things for the two of them to argue about, but overall, that just felt a bit tired because we already got all of that in the first film. Perhaps this could have just been focused on Katie just having this connection to M3GAN and just ultimately being upset that M3GAN was taken away from her when she still was trying to understand exactly what was going on, the rights and the wrongs of everything from that first film. So the retreading of that didn't feel too great. But what I will say though is the connection between M3GAN and Gemma this time around was more fun, and it gave us more of what we were likely hoping to see between Katie and M3GAN, because that connection, that relationship doesn't really exist all that much here in this film, interestingly enough. And I have to imagine when taking the horror elements out, that's why that was probably removed as well too. Instead, this is more about M3GAN and Gemma hitting that reconciliation, and Jenna Davis, who is back as the voice of M3GAN, still does terrific here in the role. M3GAN again still has attitude. She's still a ball of fun. Honestly, most of the comedic aspects of the film are coming from M3GAN's interactions with Gemma mostly, but with some of the other characters. And Jenna Davis just continues to kill it and gives us a great new property here, a new IP, a new character for us to cheer for here. But I wish that it felt like we were getting somebody who wasn't just pigeonholed into those villainous roles there. You know, we have Jermaine Clement here as a AI tech pro who, of course, wants to get a hold of everything Gemma is doing in order to further his own technology. And then we have Gemma's boyfriend, played by Aristotle Athari, who you might know from SNL recently. And I think the issue here is that both of these roles are very much written extremely one note, that we know again where both of these roles are ultimately going to end up going, so they don't really add much of a change from that original film. Like, it's no different from Gemma's boss in the first film, played by Ronnie Chang, who very much wanted to use M3GAN for all these things. Damn the safety concerns, damn the non-testing. And that's the same thing we're kind of getting with both of these characters, and it just doesn't really play like we're getting something new. It's a lot of retread of this first film. And again, I go back to what was on that cutting room floor, because there are all those rumors that Akela Cooper got cut from this film because she was trying to push the horror element more into it, and that Blumhouse just really, really wanted to focus on M3GAN herself. And while I did enjoy this film, I'm talking really negatively about it, it is a really, really fun movie. I do think that this is probably the natural progression to go, because realistically, the moment we start dealing with another killer doll, we're only going to have questions for about... we're only going to get questions here about how long it's going to take to put M3GAN against somebody like Chucky, and I don't know if that's still so much in the cards at this point. I think that marketing dropped the ball on this one big time, because if we're leaning into the IP and the M3GAN itself being the catch here for this franchise, then I would have gone the 2002 Lilo and Stitch route. I would have been showing M3GAN showing up in trailers for all the hot summer blockbusters, films that Blumhouse still has coming out. The fact that they have posters online teasing M3GAN for things like Freaky and Happy Death Day and the Black Phone, like all these things there that they could use for this, and they just choose not to. It seems like a very, very big missed opportunity, in a way to still to cash in on that horror element, even if that's not what you're ultimately going to be presenting to us here. The story beats again are just so similar to like the Terminator franchise and to that first M3GAN film. We're not really getting good new characters brought in. The villain falls a bit flat. The action sci-fi turn definitely works here, but the question is that after the initial time you watch this, is there much of a reason to go back to this? And as of right now, I don't know if I'm feeling this so much. Now, with all this being said, you would think that my rating for this would be a lot lower than what it is, but folks, I am actually giving M3GAN 2.0 a 4 out of 5. It's a very confusing time, because I did have a lot of fun with this, regardless of the negatives that I brought up with it here in this review. I think that it's an enjoyable popcorn film that a lot of teenagers are going to end up having a lot of fun with here, and it will likely be hitting digital within 2 weeks, honestly, considering how the box office is doing right now. So you're probably not going to have to wait too long to check this one out. But of course, tell me in the comment section what you ultimately felt about this one. Am I totally off base here? Did the turn to action sci-fi not work so well? How did you feel about Amelia the AI? Am I on point by saying that they just didn't really do enough with her character to make her all that interesting, and therefore we don't really need to root against her all that much? Let me know. And of course, get subscribed to my channel, where you can check out all the horror content I have coming up for y'all here. You can do that by going to linktr.ee/T scary movie. If you get subscribed, that's going to be access to the YouTube page, the video versions of the show, your favorite podcasting platforms, the audio only versions of the show, my Letterboxd page for written reviews and movie rankings through the year, my TikTok page for short horror content, including movie news, movie premieres, and movie reviews, my Twitch page for horror gaming, and my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy a 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop. Take advantage of that, y'all. Hit that subscribe button, because again, we got so much great horror content coming your way here, folks. We're gonna be talking Dexter Resurrection, I Know What You Did Last Summer. We're gonna finish up with The Bondsman and this season of Black Mirror. Got a lot coming in the pipeline. Don't want y'all to miss any of that. But that's gonna do it from here tonight. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.